Okay, folks, good evening. We're coming to you tonight from our back patio. How exciting is that? So, yes, Monday night. We had a pretty busy weekend camping. You've seen the videos from Indian Creek Campground, our camping video, and then the walkthrough that I did while she was still asleep Friday morning.
I was actually awake. I just didn't want to get up. So.
Did she look awake on that shot where I looked in the tent?
That's why the sleeping bag was over my head, because I heard him.
So, anyway, though, had a great weekend. Got to go back and get a great hamburger at BJ's. So we wanted to do a video tonight on some of the questions that have been asked us over the last several months. Also, some that were asked during the live stream this past a week ago tonight.
Yeah, because I was telling everybody to ask me your questions, and I wrote them down.
And we've got a list of them right here, front and back.
Yeah.
So we're going to take some time tonight and just answer those. We're going to answer, we get a lot of questions. We're going to deal with the ones that are asked politely and respectfully.
Yeah.
Not all of them are, unfortunately, but the ones on here are. So
yeah.
That's what we're going to take time to answer tonight, just things that you have asked about us. So the reason there's a little bit of a blip there is I had a Band-Aid on the side of my face that I didn't want in the video, and I forgot to take it off. I did have to go to the dermatologist today to have a spot looked at on my face, so that was removed. So there's a Band-Aid on it. It's just a small one. They think it's nothing, but obviously wanted to get rid of it anyway to be sure. So anyway, that's why we turned the camera off, because she just jerked the band. You all seen how she jerked that thing off of there?
I had to stop the bleeding and everything all over again.
Not really. But so we're going to take some time tonight and answer questions. We get asked a lot of questions, so hopefully this video will help answer some of them. And I want to throw this in here, and please don't take this wrong. It's just a lot of times people will ask us questions either about places to go or y'all should try this, and we've already done it. We have a video of it. So I want to make a public service announcement. If you want to know if we've been somewhere, you can search our channel. You can go to our channel and hit the search bar and put in if there's somewhere you want to know if we've been. And if we've been there, it'll come up. I've also categorized our videos into different playlists to hopefully organize things. Like we have a Smoky Mountain restaurant playlist, and that's only restaurants in the Smoky Mountain region. Then we have a Blue Ridge Mountain restaurant day playlist. That would be things from up around Boone, Blowing Rock, that area. So we try to categorize. We actually have North Myrtle Beach playlist, restaurants from there. So if there's a certain area you want to know if we've been or tried something, find that playlist and search it, and if we have it, it should be in there. So so with that being said, it's getting a little dark out for me to be reading this, so I can read it for now, but then I'm gonna hand it over to you.
Okay.
So first question tonight is, what is our favorite destination for the holidays? So I don't know if we're always gonna necessarily have the same answer here, so why don't you answer that one?
To me, number one is Gatlinburg. That is summer. Over Christmas, we have always gone to Gatlinburg.
Every year since we've been married at Christmas.
So that Gatlinburg at Christmas is a must for us. So that is one of my favorite places to go over Christmas holiday.
Yeah. And when it says destination, I'm assuming that means like somewhere we stay overnight. 'Cause we got a lot of things we do at Christmas every year. We go to Tanglewood, things that we enjoy.
Yeah, we've got traditions, but this is destination. We are taking it as a place to stay
We used
overnight.
to spend the entire week of Christmas in Gatlinburg. We kind of have maybe cut that down to like 3 or 4 days. And then kind of we have a long week. Where I work, we shut down before Christmas and stay shut down until after New Year's. So that's a good little piece of time off there that I get, and you usually put in for those dates, even though your office is not shut down all that time.
Yeah, we get 3 days.
Yeah, you get 3 days. Is that counting New Year's and Christmas?
So it's Christmas Eve, Christmas, and day after Christmas. And then I usually take a couple of vacation days.
But you get New Year's Eve off, don't you?
New Year's, yeah.
Or New Year's Day, I mean. Yeah. So I would say, yes, Gatlinburg, but I would put right up there, close to it, is St. Augustine. We've done the Nights of Lights 3 times now. Is that right? 3 times? So. And just, it's amazing.
It is. Beautiful.
So we love St. Augustine anyway, so I would put that up there. We want to get back to Branson at Christmas. We've been there one time just for one night. We were already out in Missouri because our son was graduating basic combat training at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. So we drove down to Branson for the night. I think that's somewhere I'd really like to see at Christmas.
Yeah.
And spend some more time there.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of other things we want to do. At some point, we want to go to one of those towns in Colorado where it's just the snow's 3 feet deep at Christmas time.
That would be
I want
nice.
to find one that's lit really nice. Now we also like Black Friday. We love going to the lighting in Dahlonega.
Yes.
Dahlonega is beautiful at the holiday. Dahlonega is a Hallmark town. There's been at least 3 Christmas movies filmed there. So anyway, we like those places a lot. All right. So the next question is, what are your favorite Bible verses? So
Okay.
obviously we're going to have a difference on that, I'm sure.
Yeah. So my favorite is actually several. It would be 1 Thessalonians 4, 13 through 18. Should I read the whole thing?
You want to? We're not on a time here.
Okay. It says, "But I would not have you to be ignorant, brethren, concerning them which are asleep, that ye sorrow not, even as others which have no hope. For if we believe that Jesus died and rose again, even so them also which sleep in Jesus will God bring with him. For this we say unto you by the word of the Lord, that ye which are alive and remain unto the coming of the Lord shall not prevent them which are asleep. For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of God, and the dead in Christ shall rise first. Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds, to meet the Lord in the air, and so shall we ever be with the Lord. Wherefore comfort one another with these words." I have found a lot of comfort in those verses when my mom passed away, but they're great verses anyway. Just knowing that the Lord's coming back, all the saints that have gone on before are coming with him, and we'll be with him and them forever. So it's just something great to think about. So whenever you get down and out, it's just like the Lord can come back today, and so shall we ever be with the Lord. And I find comfort in that.
There's so much packaged in those verses. It tells us where our loved ones in Christ are. It lets us know they're with him. And the verse that shows that, it says that God will bring them with him when he comes. So that means they are with him. There's no way around that. And then it talks about, of course, it gives the promise of his return. And a lot of people say that the word rapture is not in the Bible. That's true. The word isn't. But the catching away, or what in Greek, that's the harpazo. That's what it says, we shall be caught up. That is a catching away. Every time that word is ever used in the New Testament, it always means to seize upwardly, or to take out, or to take up. So it means that every time. This is no exception. So that's why we do believe that there is going to be a rapture, that Christ is going to come back. Those that are alive here on earth are going to be caught up right after those whose bodies are in the graves. They're going to rise first. The dead in Christ shall rise first. Yet they're coming with him, so that their bodies and their spirits are going to reunite, and they're getting that glorified body. Now, I like the last verse of that. It says, "Wherefore comfort one another with these words." If you don't know what the Bible says about the state of your loved one, then you can't find comfort. But thankfully, if our loved ones are in Christ, the Bible does give us that comfort, and it tells us exactly what the situation is with them. Would you say, before you lost your mom, would you say that was always your favorite passage, or has that kind of become that sense?
That's kind of become that sense. And like I said too, I've read it so many times, and also too, when you lose someone, your heart, when someone else loses someone, you kind of feel compassion towards them. And I just know that, I read that numerous times. That's helped me. Sharing it with others, that gives me comfort that I have something to share, hoping to help the other person. And then too, like I said, when you're down and out thinking, oh, this is just a really hard day, things just blah, blah, blah. Just think about the Lord could come back. This could be my last day here. Then, like I said, then shall we ever be with the Lord. So there's comfort in that, knowing your loved ones are there, and that, like I said, you're meeting the Lord in the air and done with this world.
So we're a winner either way. It only gets better for the Christian. I know this world's going to get worse, but as far as someone who knows Christ, it's only up from here.
Yeah.
If we go by way of the grave, which is not my preference, but if it does happen that way, we have that promise. If we're here when he comes, we have that same promise. You can't lose it as a Christian.
Right.
So I remember using that passage when I did your mom's service. I remember using that passage to try to hopefully bring comfort. So my favorite Bible verses, and honestly, I'm hesitant to say favorite because there's a lot I like, but I've always liked the ones in Psalms chapter 103, 2 of them. Verse 10 says, "He hath not dealt with us after our sins, nor rewarded us according to our iniquities." And I can't tell you how glad I am for that. Now, that doesn't say that God won't punish us when we disobey. He will, but I'm glad He's a merciful God and He gives us space to repent and to get it right. And if He, I think that's the definition of grace. People will say, "What is grace?" It's not just getting or not getting what you deserve. It's getting what you don't deserve. And one of the things we don't deserve is the mercy and patience with God. We fail Him. Mm-hmm. We break His commandments. We allow things in our heart and in our lives and in our minds that are not pleasing to Him. But I'm glad it says that He's not dealt with us after our sins. In other words, if God gave us what we deserved every time we deserved it, wouldn't be much of us left. Honestly, there wouldn't be many people left. But He's very merciful. A couple of verses before that, it says, verse 8, the Lord is merciful and gracious, slow to anger, and plenteous in mercy. And you're looking at somebody who's had to ask Him for that mercy many, many times. And one more I'll share here out of the same chapter is verse 14. I always like this one. Just, I don't know, something about the way it's worded. For He knoweth our frame, He remembereth that we are dust. Just to put that in modern terms, He knows we're made out of dirt and we mess up constantly, and He loves us anyway, and He's merciful to us anyway. So I've always liked those verses. I remember when I was dealing with my battle with cancer back in 1998, I read Psalm 91 every single day. And I understand about rightly dividing the Bible. I understand that a lot in the Old Testament was written specifically to Israel. Those were covenant promises to Israel. We're the church. I understand that dispensationally. But at the same time, I'm not going to dispensationalize myself out of the comfort of God either. And I like Psalm 91 because it talks about how He'll watch over those that put Him first, and He's with them, and He walks with them, and just a great chapter. So I guess if I had to pick a favorite, it would be those. So the next one, how long have we been married? All right, 31 years as of last month. So April 1993. This is actually not last month. This is June now.
Oh yeah, June.
Yeah. So 2 months ago.
2 months.
Yeah, 31 years.
Yep.
Is the answer to that. So somebody asked, and I don't remember who asked which questions. I think you were just making notes that night.
Down, yeah. Oh, what was the most difficult hike we've done?
We may have a difference of opinion. We have done 3 of the toughest ones in the Smokies. We've done Mount Cameron. I don't remember what the difficulty rating of that is. I know all 3 of the ones we're going to name here are strenuous. We've not done Rocky Top. That's another one that's up there. But we've done Mount Cameron. We've done Mount LeConte 3 times. We've done all 5 trails, either up or down Mount LeConte. And we've done Gregory Bald. Me 3 times, you twice.
Right.
I'm going to pick, for me, Gregory Bald. Even though that's the lowest elevation of the 3 hikes, it just seems like it's got the most intense climbing. Now, Mount Cameron has a lot of climbing too, but it levels out a little bit more towards the top.
Yeah, and mine's going to be kind of a toss-up. Mount LeConte, I know the very first time that we ever did it, I was crying on my way down, literally crying. Yeah. He was having to help me down because of my knees. Mm-hmm. We weren't experienced hikers at all way back then. But
that was my 30th birthday, first time we did it.
Yeah, so it's been a while.
It was 1999.
Yeah. So, so not last year, the year before, we did Mount LeConte again, and I did fine going up, but coming back down, my knees, I got blisters on the back of my feet. I ended up taking off my socks. I don't remember why, and he gave me a pair of his, which must have been a wool blend or something.
Carry extra socks.
I must have been allergic to it, so I had some allergic reaction, blisters all over my feet. And my knees were hurting. So that was not a good hike down for me. If you ever watched that video of
You've
the
never had
LeConte,
a good hike down.
I was like, I don't remember Mount Cameron giving me any issue. And then last year with Gregory Bald, I bought knee braces for my knees. They weighed probably like 20 pounds each. So
I didn't weigh that much.
They felt like. But anyway.
Exaggerate just a little there.
But they were heavy. And I remember when we got up there, it's like I took them off, plopped myself onto the ground because I was ready to sleep. He's still exploring the summit, and I'm like passed out of sleep, and I was cramping up.
Yeah.
And then but I don't think my knees hurt though. No, the knee braces did help. But
I didn't hike all that way to not
up.
See the top. That's a very large top summit. There's acres up there, and let's go look around. Well, she's laying down. I come back. She's got her shoes and socks off, and it's in the video.
It was awful. quads were just like twisting. I couldn't bend over. I couldn't stand up. You remember that having to help me up?
So it's usually a knee problem. But this time, okay, she has knee braces, so what else can happen? Well, she gets a stinging nettle, gets a hold of her leg.
I thought it was a bee sting.
She gets cellulitis. Is that what it was?
Yeah, ended up getting a very, very bad rash.
Quite honestly, folks,
fever in my leg.
There are hikes I would love to do, but she's a liability on hikes. It's just that simple.
What was it?
Always gets hurt or something.
Last year we did an easy hike. What was it? Table Rock. He's recording.
She fell and twisted her ankle.
Turn around, look, and I'm on the ground.
Yeah, I'm ahead of her, and I hear ooh. I try and look, and I don't see her. Then there she lays. So, yeah, it's literally something with her every hike.
It's like I seem to be accident prone or doing something stupid all the time. Like, I ain't gonna tell you what I did last time.
What was that?
Remember with the pool?
You got to tell that now.
So anyway, I have a little over there is my above ground pool that I keep all the chemicals. I do all the cleaning and whatnot for it. And so last year, well, let me back up. So on the pump, when it goes into the pool, it's got a jet, but it's got where you can put little tiny chlorine tablets in it. Well, I thought I was out of them, and I couldn't unscrew the thing. So I finally got it unscrewed, digging through my chemicals. I'm like, oh, I got some. So I opened it up, and you'd expect to smell chlorine. I'm like, I don't smell nothing. I got it right here.
Yeah, don't sniff your chlorine tablets.
Oh, my lungs were full. I was like on fire.
So we're getting ready to go to church last night, and she's and can't talk.
And I was like sneezing. It was terrible. Thankfully today I'm much better, but don't sniff chlorine tablets. That been locked up for well over a year. So I asked her, "Are you getting sick?" She goes, "No, I sniffed chlorine tablets." I'm like, "You want to run that by me one more time?" Well, see, like I buy the liquid chlorine too, and if you leave it outside, I notice it's usually like a yellowish color. It turns clear, and you don't smell the chlorine. Now, I've actually tried to smell liquid chlorine, so I just think, okay, well, it loses its potency. So I thought maybe the tablets did, but don't do that. Don't do that. It hurts. All right.
Next question.
Who chooses the vacation and or weekend trips? So this is Mr. Planner. I'll just go ahead and say that. Now, I will come across something every once in a while or give an input, but this is 99% he comes up with it, and he's very good at it. Like if he says, hey, I'm thinking about we're going here or there, I say, oh, tell me the route, and then I'll go look and see if there's any little stops or anything like that I want to make. But yeah, the motel rooms are going to be reserved. Eating, we kind of talk about it together. But as far as, where we're going,
I would say restaurants, unless I find something that I really like to try. I think you probably pick 75-80%.
Yeah, we still talk about it, but I mean, it does let me choose that.
But as far as, now you did ask to go to Minnesota last year. You did.
Well, that was, I wanted to see my
I still
family.
made the reservations. I planned out our days and things like that.
Yeah, he found out picked out where we were going to stay, and the little trips while we were up there and things like that. Yeah, he did do that, and like I said, he's very good at it, so I just trust him in that. And
some trips are a given. There are things that we have always done and we do every year, and we're going to do, like Siesta Key, Florida, Gatlinburg. There's never going to be a time where we don't go there for a year or two. It's just, unless our health obviously or something unforeseen happens that we can't do it. Those are givens, so not a whole lot of planning there. When we go to Siesta Key, we stay same place every year. We just basically plan our meals.
And if there's any little activity or something different
something along the way. Like last year, we mixed it up a little bit. Went to Centennial Olympic Park in Atlanta, and I don't really remember what else we did there, but just kind of mix things up a little bit. But all right, so
okay, what's each of your specialty dish to cook at home?
Well, for me, it's anything I can put on the grill. I don't really do well with a stove in the kitchen.
I can bake.
I grill really good ribeye steaks, or any T-bone too.
Yeah,
but I prefer
he
to
can
get
grill
ribeye.
anything.
I've been experiencing with seasonings and marinades over the years. I got a couple of different ways I like to do it just to mix it up, but I can grill steak as good as any steakhouse.
Yeah, he can.
And you know what I put on it, even though it's prepared correctly.
He enjoys it, so that's fine.
Yeah. So anyway, actually, I grilled hamburgers this evening. I put it on there too. So.
Yeah. We had hamburgers, and we bought peaches at Darnell Farms last weekend.
Oh yeah.
Made homemade peach.
Best homemade peach ice cream I think we've made.
So good. I'm so full.
Yeah.
All right. And as far as me, specialty dish, I don't know that I have a specialty dish. What
Go
you
ahead.
like? No,
No.
I can see the look on
Yeah,
your face.
I'll hold it. You go ahead.
I don't really know.
She has experimental dishes. What that means is she'll find something on Pinterest, online, or in a cookbook, and I'm the experiment.
Well, I used to
So-
do that a whole lot more than what I do now. Honestly, I hate to say it. I work so late a lot of times in the evenings till like 5:30, and he's home 2 hours before me, so where he'll probably have eaten by the time I get home. Now Sundays I'll sometimes cook.
Yeah, I usually fend for myself those days, but like the Mondays and Fridays you're off, you'll cook,
I'll
or on
cook.
weekends. Yeah,
Yeah, try to make it. But I like Italian food.
that's what I was gonna say. I think that's your best one.
Yeah, and my mother-in-law, she taught me well. So, yeah, she taught me Alfredo sauce, manicotti.
How to make homemade manicotti crepes.
Yeah,
out of
the
crepes.
meatballs. Yeah, she's taught me a lot.
And your stuffed shells are excellent, even though I know you buy the shells in the store.
Yeah, the shells are pre-made, but I make the homemade Alfredo sauce,
Yeah.
which is, like I said, thank you, mother-in-law, Miss Trudy.
Oh, she taught you that too?
She gave me that recipe. Yeah. All right, and I can bake. If you want something
Yeah.
sweet, I can just go find you something and make it real quick.
Yeah.
Favorite restaurant in Pigeon Forge / Gatlinburg.
Well, let's just do both.
So Pigeon Forge, in my opinion, if I had a restaurant I had to choose, I'd say the Pottery House.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed
I
that.
can't argue with that.
Roma Table, we did a,
That's Sevierville, though.
yeah, well, yeah, it's a little bit out, but
If
I
we
really
can
like
count
that.
Sevierville, I'm going to put the Chop House in there along with
That's good,
Pottery
too.
House. But that is technically Sevierville, so I like to answer what people ask.
Yeah.
All right, so you said Pottery House. Would you?
Yeah.
Is there a second? I mean, I love Applewood Farmhouse Grill.
yeah,
I always have.
Yeah, that's always been good too. Can't really think of anything else. As far as the Gatlinburg breakfast, I'd say Crockett's
Yeah.
Breakfast Camp would be my favorite. I like Log Cabin for breakfast too, and then for supper, Cherokee Grill.
Yeah.
That's just always been.
I think we're in
excellent.
agreement on that.
Yeah, it's always been excellent.
Although there's a lot of good restaurants. The best Italian, the one in Elks Plaza, is really, really good.
Yeah, definitely.
Best pizza we've had. I actually gave it to that New York pizza in the Mountain Mall, but then we tried Luigi's next trip, and I think
Luigi's was really good.
the New York pizza's great.
It was.
But I think Luigi's is just the farm fresh ingredients. I think it might have nudged it just a little bit.
It was really good. You might get to see T-Bone or
That's the
Bob,
dog
sir.
you don't usually see.
He's wandering around here trying to figure out what to do.
Yeah.
He's wondering what we're doing, I think. All right. What made us interested to be YouTubers?
Watching YouTubers. The traveling part's something we've always done. We've always gone to Gatlinburg. We used to try to do it at least 4 times a year on weekends. And 3 weekends a year and at Christmas. That was pretty much our standard for years. Then we would do the North Myrtle Beach at Memorial Day, and then Florida in the summer. That's we've always done that
And we used to go to Minnesota too, up until
yeah.
my grandparents passed away. But yeah,
And that was in
always-
2002. Last year was our first trip back up there since
Yeah.
then. But what was the question?
I know,
again?
it's what I had to look
I had
at.
another thought, but
I said, what made us interested to be YouTubers?
oh yeah, YouTube. I've had two YouTube channels for years, not the one we have now. And I used to post, random things from a trip. Like if we see dolphins out in the ocean, I'd just post that, Or like if we went on a cruise, we went on a Disney cruise in 2013 for our 20-year anniversary. And I posted that on one of my YouTube channels, just a little musical video I made about that. But as far as doing it like we're doing it now, never occurred to us. I think during COVID, we were home a lot. We started watching more TV. I started watching other people who were doing it. And I don't know who suggested it. It's like, okay, we're going to some of these places. We're also getting ideas from them of things we hadn't done.
Yeah.
So it's like, why don't we do that? We go to some places that we couldn't find videos about. So why don't we just try this for fun, see if we like doing it? It was not something necessarily that we knew if we'd be doing at this point. This was around December of 2020 that we finally started doing it. And I don't know if we even knew it would continue, if it would take off. I'm actually shocked when I have people tell us, and I'm honored, don't get me wrong, but when people say, we watch y'all all the time. We had a comment today, somebody says, we've watched all of your videos at least twice. We have over 600 videos.
Wow. That's
Now,
amazing.
I want to say a couple things. Number one, thank you. Number two, we're honored. Number three, that's a lot of time wasted on TV. So, I mean, we appreciate it. I mean, if you're going to watch something on TV, you might as well watch something clean, or something like that. And we're going to keep it clean for you. I have zero. I started to watch a video yesterday. I'm not going to name the channel. Started to watch a video yesterday because it was something in the Smoky Mountains, and the title got my attention. Well, a minute and a half in there, I heard 3 profanities. I cut it off. I'm not interested in hearing that. You're not going to hear that on this channel. So we just started doing it, and didn't know if it would ever take off. It took us a year to get our first 1,000 subscribers. It took a year, almost exactly a year to the month, I think, to get 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm still working 40 hours a week. Yeah. So we're working full time still yet.
We might as well deal with that question tonight.
Okay.
Here's another one we get. Do you have jobs? Yes. We do. So sometimes comments are made like, somebody asked it this way one time, says, how do y'all manage to travel so much if you got a job? Well, most of the things you see are things we can drive to in an hour or 2 or 3 at the most, like the Smokies. And they're weekends trip. They're weekend trip. We take them when we're off. When we come back, we're back to work Monday. So that's most of it. And then we do each have some accumulated vacation time that our longer trips are. Where I work is not open the week of 4th of July. So there's a week's vacation. You got approved for that week. So we got a vacation coming up soon. One of the stipulations before I took this job was, okay, I want a week in August too. And I take that unpaid. And they agreed to that, and then they shut down also, like I said earlier, from Christmas through the 1st. So there's 3 weeks vacation time right there where I can take a full week and do something.
And then he's off every Friday. I'm off almost every other Friday. Yeah. So there's
some long weekends.
Too.
We can head to the Smokies Thursday after work. Sometimes you're able to even leave early on Thursdays. We can get up there, go out to eat Thursday night, and stay till Sunday morning. There's 3 nights in Gatlinburg, and we get up Sunday morning, drive home if I have to teach Sunday school. We've done that 50 times probably, yeah.
Numerous times.
So we're blessed to live close enough to there that we can do that.
And even to the beach, I mean, less than 5 hours. You know, we don't go there a lot, but you know, a couple weekends a year, we're able to do that. So that's wonderful.
I have always had a travel bug, and
I've always growing up. I was the oldest of 5, and honestly, we didn't have much money growing up. So our trips were like we go to Steel Creek to swim. Tweetsy every once in a while, or picnics along the parkway. And I remember a couple times going to Tweetsy, but that was one beach trip that I remember.
That's Tweetsy Railroad, for those that may not know.
I'm sorry, Tweetsy. I'm talking like everybody knows. Yeah. But and I always wanted to travel, so I always had the dream of growing up and being a travel agent, so that way I could travel as well. So it worked out. He loves to travel, and I get to travel now, so it's wonderful.
So she marries this guy that's been going to Siesta Key, Florida since I was 3 years old, and by the time I was 8, this is no lie, I could tell you how to get there. I would tell my dad, okay, don't turn till I tell you to turn. I knew the road all the way from our house to our motel in Siesta Key when I was 8 years old. I was a dork like that.
Stuff like that.
I used to read road atlases for a hobby. So that's why I'm not a GPS person. I only use them if I have to.
Yeah. So someone asked, how did we meet? So we went through that really in depth on our
I want to refer you to a video there, our journey together.
Yeah, we talked a lot about us and how we met.
We did that before Valentine's Day, not 2024 but 2023. So we did meet at church. We were I was already established in the church. We don't no longer attend the church that we met in, that we were married in. We met there. Your mom had married, and it was your stepdad at the time, which is one of the reasons we ended up getting married a lot sooner than we planned to. But that's in the video too, so I'm not going to rehash all that. But basically, the pastor and I think one other man, we would go visiting on Saturdays and go out and invite people to church, and give them the gospel and things like that. So your stepdad had been a member there years ago and had not been lately, so we actually went to try to get him to come back, and by that time he had met your mom, and you came out that morning with hair everywhere. I don't think you knew that
I had just gotten up. Yeah. I'm a late sleeper, so I didn't know anything was going on. I walked by the living room.
So anyway, I saw her, and I'm thinking, I hope they come to church. You know? So, and then I didn't even know you noticed me, but I think you actually kind of started liking me first. Believe it or not, she started liking me first.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's all in that video, our journey together. Yeah. Look that one up. That was kind of a marital testimony of where we've been and where God's brought us to.
How blessed. We're so blessed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is all the questions that I have.
I thought you had another whole side.
Well, that was actually, I thought it was too. These are actually the questions we asked for the giveaway the other night.
Oh, okay. Well, are there any others before we end this? Oh, deal with the wedding ring one again. We've been asked that again.
Okay,
A couple
all
of
right.
times.
So
Why we don't wear wedding rings?
So yeah, we do not. I don't, and because of my left hand. So if you followed our channel for any length of time, I was actually born with a it's called AVM, atrial venial malformation. So if you see the difference in my two hands, I don't know if that light is going to allow that. Basically a clump of veins. My whole arm has bigger veins in it going and coming. I have extreme pressure in there. Last December had several clots pop up in there, and
we were really concerned.
I was in such pain. I remember thinking, if they need to remove fingers, I'd do whatever. That's how bad I was hurting. So thank God that pain went away. Saw a specialist in February, and he kind of gave me some options if it started hurting again. Thankfully, it's June. It has not. The big vein that has been here my whole entire life has actually gone down tremendously, which is the first time ever in my life. So the reason I don't wear a wedding ring is because of the large amount of veins, and it hurts. Putting anything around my fingers hurts.
But you're able to wear the Fitbit on your wrist.
So the Fitbit, I keep it very, very loose because of that. But it's just, these are more just big veins, whereas this is a clump of veins, to where they told me, I don't remember how it is, arteries, capillaries, and veins I'm missing. I don't remember if it was capillaries.
I'm not sure.
I don't remember either, but you know, it can cause a lot of pain.
It's just painful for her.
Yeah.
And you don't wear because of the abundance of veins. I don't wear mine because of the abundance of fat, because I have put on a lot of weight since I was married. Mine just, if I were to even be able to get it on, it would be very painful to get off. Plus I work in chemicals.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, the chemicals he works in.
So we just don't. It has nothing to do with. Some people wondered if it's a religious thing. It is not. We have zero religious convictions against jewelry at all. In fact, we have them. We just don't wear them.
Yeah.
But at some point, maybe I don't know, maybe ask the doctor. Maybe because they make the ones now, like the
silicone and stuff like that. We probably could try something like that.
Yeah, we just haven't. We should, I guess. So,
I think we just don't think about it until somebody.
We really don't, and that's the truth. Until somebody asks us. I mean, we've been married 31 years. We know we're married. But then somebody will ask us. We've been asked a couple of times here lately. But it is not anything other than the condition in her hand that we don't want to aggravate any further. So I thought we had a lot more questions than that.
That was it. Some people ask us, do we have kids? We have 2 grown sons.
Yeah.
Very proud of them.
One works for a major financial institution in Charlotte, and the other is a police officer. So we're proud of both of them.
Yes.
And
thankfully they still live close enough that we can visit, you know, and they can visit us.
Yeah, we don't get to see our oldest as much just because he lives an hour and a half away, but we do still see our youngest and his wife at church when he's not having to work. So might as well cover anything else we can think of.
I know.
Like I say, I can think of some other questions, but I'm dealing with the nice ones. So, okay, I will deal with one. This wasn't nice, but I'm going to go ahead and deal. This is not my daughter. This is my wife. Okay. I can't imagine somebody actually having the gall to ask that, but some people have. I was taught better than that, but anyway, if some people weren't, I'll go ahead and settle that now. There is a 7.5-year age difference between us. I know people with a 20-year age difference between them that are happily married. So 7.5, it might be a little more than average, but it's certainly not unheard of.
No.
And think of anything else?
No, I can't think of anything. But I'm going to piggyback off something that he said right at the beginning of the video, as far as, my mind just went blank. What did you say at the beginning of the video?
Good evening?
No. That's terrible. My mind went completely blank. Oh, he's talking about searching our YouTube for things, you know. So some people say, well, have you tried this? Have you tried that? You know. Well, one thing though, and this isn't really a question or anything like that, we like recommendations. Nice recommendations. We've gotten ideas.
We have tried many ideas and recommendations.
Yeah, I mean,
from
BJ's
people.
Diner was a great recommendation that we got, that we tried.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, we take what you
We've done
say.
several. In fact, somebody this past weekend gave us one in Clyde, North Carolina. We never thought about eating in Clyde, near Maggie Valley. I looked it up and said, you know what? That might be a good recommendation. Unfortunately, they're closed on weekends.
So we have to try
So
again another
we got to
time.
put that on the list. So we are open to recommendations, but I was saying we can't just drop what we're doing, drive 500 miles to eat a hamburger.
Yeah.
we just can't do it. But there are things right now that we want to do and try that we're never going to get it done as it is. But we have ideas that we want to do. We've got things on our thing that we want to bring to you, and we certainly do try to put in some suggestions. But
we always try to look into them.
And I'm just saying, somewhere long distance like that, we can't just drop what we're doing, take off work, and do that. So we kind of have to find places where we're already going to be.
Yeah.
So we do have some. That being said, we do have some new things coming up. We're very excited about 4th of July week. Very. Some of it's things we haven't done in a long time. Some of it's things we've never done. And none of it is anything that we've got videos on. So for all of you, here's one. I'm going to go ahead and answer this one and address this. If we don't do enough restaurant videos, there are people that want to know why we're not reviewing restaurants. If we do too many, there's people that think that you've gotten away from nature. Neither one's true. During the winter months, we don't do as much outdoor stuff. Some we'll go on snow drives, but we're not going to camp with a foot of snow. We're not going to hike in that. We don't have the equipment to go on hikes. Some of y'all love our hikes. That's a warm weather activity. We're just now getting into late spring, early summer. So there are going to be a lot more outdoor things. But we haven't changed anything. That was one of the things the lady raked us over the coals that said, you've changed. We haven't changed anything. We're still doing the same stuff. If you go back to day one, we're just trying to do it better and make better videos, but still got a long way to go there. But we haven't changed anything. We're still outdoor people. We're still going to do outdoor things, and we're still going to do restaurant reviews. So the cool thing is, if there's something we do that doesn't interest you, you are not obligated to watch it. We understand. We're not going to be offended. And then if the next video you say, oh, I'd like to see it, watch it. That's the way. I mean, it's just, we've learned a lot from other YouTubers. We hope that we've given some ideas. In fact, I think we have. So,
well, we met someone in Walmart, our local Walmart, a subscriber today, and he was telling us about some of the restaurants that we have done videos on and recommended.
He went to Bones Jones and said that's the best steak he ever ate.
Yeah, and the depot at Cody Creek.
Yeah.
So yeah, they said that they really enjoy our videos and they got some ideas from us. So
yeah.
We're out here to help you guys and enjoy our time together.
And we've done that.
Yes.
But we love doing this. It's just we never ever thought, as far as 10,000 subscribers, I know that's still small potatoes. There's some out there a lot more, and we're never going to be that big, and that's okay with us. Okay. We never set out to be. But I said this before. I didn't know if we'd ever get 100 subscribers. I didn't know. We just started doing it for fun.
Mm-hmm. And it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah. So normally when you get a reply on Facebook, that's 90% of the time her, but not always. If it's on Facebook, that's 90% of the time me. But
no, on YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube.
I'm Facebook, he's YouTube.
Yeah, but it can vary. I mean, we both have access to the accounts, but
right.
Usually you take care of the Facebook. So
yeah, he's very good at answering things on YouTube. Very, very good at that.
So are there any other questions?
I can't think of anything else.
One I was asked today, we are tent campers. Now, I love campers and RVs. I love them. We don't have one. I don't know. I like sleeping in a tent. If it ever gets to the point where I can't do that anymore, then maybe we'll look at something. But I like tent camping. You probably would like the RV more.
Honestly, I've told him, I said, I'd like to go to a camper store and just look at them. I've never been inside one, just if somebody does a video, and shows the inside, okay. And then
they're nice.
I'm sure you can get the basic to the
I don't see how anybody affords to drive one now.
But it's just like,
or tow one.
I like how we camp. You know, I just don't like it when it rains or when it's cold. But
that's the downside of it, yeah.
But other than that, that's all I know, and I enjoy it. I think we do pretty good at it.
Yeah, I think so. We have accumulated a lot of camping stuff over the years.
Yes, we have.
All right, so I am trying to think of anything else we've been asked. Can you think of anything?
I can't think of anything.
All right.
So, I mean, we'll try to get us another running list for maybe another video in several months, you know.
Yeah, if you got more
So if you
questions,
watch
we'll try to maybe do a part 2 of this.
Yeah,
sometime.
so if you watch this video and think, hey, I've got a question, put it in the comments. If we don't answer it in the comments, we're going to take note of it. And like you said, maybe do another part 2 to this in a couple of months or something.
All right. So I guess that's it then.
Yes, it's gotten dark.
Yeah.
Bugs are flying.
Yeah. And the longer my mouth's open, the more likely one's going to fly in it. So let's not have that. So anyway, thank y'all for watching tonight. Hope this answered everybody's questions. I hope we didn't miss any.
Hope we didn't miss any. I tried to write everything down the other night. So,
yeah. So yeah. So that was a pretty good live stream. I do want to say I regret what happened at the end of it, about the minute 50-something mark. That was very unfortunate, but when I saw the name of the person, I knew who they were and what they were and what their character was, and we're just wasn't going to have it. So I hate that, because I don't normally want y'all to see that part of me where I have to deal with something. I would rather get along with everybody. But when I saw that name and I knew what they had done to another YouTube couple, and how they viciously and just the vulgarity used, I had to kick that person out before they got started. I'm committed to keeping things clean for y'all. I have seen 1 or 2 of that person's videos, and they do not know how to form a sentence together without vulgar profanity. And so I figured the more they were allowed to comment that night, eventually something would be said that we're not allowing. So that's why we shut it down before it got started. So I do apologize that happened. I felt bad about it later. But
well, you did the right thing.
I did the right thing. I don't feel bad that I did it. I feel bad that I had to do it.
Yeah.
But just we're not having individuals like that. So their comments are no longer viewable on the live stream now, but just not having it. So they were there for trouble. Let me just put it that way. So anyway, I hate to end it on that note.
We really
but
appreciate
that was on my mind,
yeah.
and I just felt like I wanted to get that off my chest.
We appreciate you guys. I
Yes.
mean, all the nice comments that we get on our videos, on our Facebook posts, on our pictures, you know, we feel like we have this huge extra family.
And made a lot of great friends too.
Yes, yes. So we feel very blessed. And
yeah, we're excited when we meet somebody from just that's watched us.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. So we
All
appreciate you guys.
Well, thank y'all for watching tonight. We appreciate it. Everybody have a blessed evening. Oh, if you like this video,
I don't know if you're gonna do that.
like it. Well, like and subscribe,
and follow us on Facebook.
and have a blessed evening.